Guides menu. I'll explain more about this in another tutorial, but for now, you don't need to worry about it. It just means you have more freedom to dream shape. When the platform is in the right spot, you're ready for the next step. Now that the first platform's in position, let's test it out. Open the Options menu and select Play Mode with X. Connie's on the starting platform, ready for another try. Take control of her with R2 and see if she can jump over the gap now. Hope she made it this time. If not, you can always go back and edit things again. In fact, let's try doing that now and see what happens. Select Edit Mode from the Options menu. Look at that. Connie isn't in her starting place anymore. That's because time passes when you're in play mode. And the scene doesn't rewind automatically when you return to edit mode. Instead, things will be frozen in the state you left them when you were playing. Always keep this in mind when switching modes. We have to strafe up and down. Move it where you want it and release R2. Try it now with the first movable platform. Grab it. Use the left action by pressing the left. That's because their auto guide gadgets are disabled by action by over so it. Move it where you want it and release R2. Try it now with the first movable platform. Grab it with R2, slide it over so it lines up with the pink outlines, and release R2. You can get a slower, more precise movement if you hold R2 softly. Use the left stick to move the platform backwards, forwards, left and right. And if you need to try again, just undo your action by pressing the left directional button. You may have noticed that objects move more freely here in edit mode than in the home space. That's because their auto guide gadgets are disabled by default in the Guides menu. I'll explain more about this in another tutorial, but for now, you don't need to worry about it. It just means you have more freedom to dream shape. When the platform is in the right spot, you're ready for the next step. Now that the first platform's in position, let's test it out. Open the Options menu too and see if she can go back and edit things again. In fact, let's try doing that now and see what happens. Select Edit Mode from the Options menu. Look at that. Connie isn't in her starting place anymore. That's because time passes when you're in play mode. And the scene doesn't rewind automatically when you return to edit mode. Instead, things will be frozen in the state you left them when you were playing. Always keep this in mind when switching modes. But you can easily rewind things. Just press L3 by clicking in the left stick on your controller. Now time's rewound back to the beginning. Doing this won't reset any changes you made in edit mode. See? Connie is back to her starting position, but the platform remains where you left it. Try to get into the habit of rewinding time after you play scenes. That way, you'll avoid any problems. There are times when it's useful to leave things as they are after playing, but when in doubt, rewind. Okay, if your platform's in the right place and you've had a successful test run with Connie, you can move on to the next step. Let's sort out the next platform now. It's the middle one that's lying on its side. Before you can match it up with the outline, you'll need to stand it upright. So you'll have to rotate it first. You can rotate objects in edit mode by grabbing them with L2. That's right, we won't be using R2 this time. When you grab things with L2, you can rotate them in place, instead of moving them around the scene. Give it a go now. Hover over the fallen platform, then press and hold L2. Now you can rotate it by tilting your controller. This is a great way of making smaller adjustments. You can also rotate it fully by using the left and right sticks while holding L2. The platform will rotate in different directions depending on how you push the sticks. The motion sensor function is disabled when you do this, so you don't have to worry about tilting your controller. If you want to reactivate the motion sensor function, just let go of the shape and grab it again with L2. Bear in mind that your IMP's tip is at the center point of the rotation. So you can grab the platform at different points and see how it affects the rotation. All that rotating has made the platform a bit wonky. So let's undo all that with the left directional button and start again. Grab and hold L2 over the platform and try to rotate it into a vertical position. Once you have it more or less upright, you can let go of L2. This time, grab the platform with R2 so you can move it into the matching blue outline. Remember, holding R2 more softly will let you move the platform with more precision. And if you're feeling really adventurous, you can try rotating it with the touchpad too. That's quite a lot of buttons to remember, isn't it? Well, if you ever forget what to press, just look at the prompts around your IMP. Or select the mode icon in the top left of the screen with X. They'll show you what buttons you can use in any situation. Practice rotating things with L2 until you're comfortable. Then move on to the next step. Now that you know how to rotate objects, here's a useful tip. When you rotate something by hand, like this platform, it might end up a little wonky. But there's a really simple way of fixing that. You can realign objects by grabbing them with L2 or R2 and then pressing triangle. This will snap whatever shape you're grabbing to the nearest right angle. Make sure you're grabbing an object before you press triangle though, or you might end up deleting it. If you do delete something by accident, remember you can undo your mistake by pressing the left directional button. Once you're happy with the position and alignment of the middle platform, you should switch over to play mode and test it out. So, select the controller icon in the options menu and possess Connie to see how far we can go on to the next step. Now the only thing separating Connie from Cuthbert is the final platform. Oh, it looks a bit small compared to the others. I'm not sure Connie will be able to use it, no matter how much you rotate it. Let's learn how to make objects bigger, or as we dream shapers say, scale them up. Scale objects up or down by using the up and down directional buttons. Hover over the final platform now, and hold the up directional button to make it bigger. The square on the floor tells you what size the platform's base needs to be. It's also a good idea to scales from. Try hovering over the platform in different places. Now that you know how to move, rotate and scale things, you should be able to get the final platform into its matching frame. Everything is where it should be. Go into play mode and see if Connie can reach the flag. Once Connie reaches the flag, head into edit mode again and go to the next step. Hurrah! Connie and Cuthbert have been reunited. But now they need to find a way out before Cuthbert falls asleep again. So let's learn how to find a door in the Dreamiverse. Go to the Assembly menu, which is the row of buttons at the top of the screen.